Hey, all right. So, what is this? Well, this is Raceroom Racing Experience, which is my favorite racing sim currently. I love it. I have all the content for it, and I play it more than Assetto Corsa, Project Cars, even the arcade games like Forza. This is what I enjoy spending most of my time in. And here later today, I'm going to be taking part in an online race for sim racing systems at the Slovakiaring. And there's a problem there because I've never actually driven a lap on the Slovakiaring. So what I thought I would do, I have sort of a system I use when I learn a new track. I don't know how, it's effective for me, right? Maybe people who have a lot more experience than I do know, a more effective way to do it. Now, I watched a dozen videos on ways to learn new tracks, and I've sort of picked, whatever bits out of each of those that I sort of like the most. And so I'm just going to show you real quick sort of what I like to do to when I'm learning a new track, right? So first things first, even though I race in cockpit, I tend to use, in race room at least, this view for new tracks. I do this because it gives me a lot more, a larger field of view. When you're in the cockpit, you've got the pillar blocking your sight. You're just restricted. Now, it's great because you're in the car, and this is how you should race for sure, but I think that here, or even if you're comfortable driving in chase cam, it's great for learning a new track, because what I noticed right away as I'm driving here, and again, this is the first, I've never driven this before. So, I don't even know what the layout is. I've never even watched a race on this before. So, let's see here. So, what I can see here from here is I can see the marker boards, and I'm going to take this first lap pretty easy. Alright, so we've got a sweeping right-hander. Looks like an early apex. Can probably accelerate pretty well out onto this straight. Oh, cool looking track. I love the visuals in Race Room. I think this game looks fantastic. I don't understand why Race Room's not more popular, but that's not what this video is. Okay, so alright, so we got a fast right-hander here. Okay, so we got a early, look like a little bit of an early apex right-hander. You can accelerate onto that straight up the hill. That right-hander was pretty quick too. Another straight. We got marker boards coming up, so we must have a churn. Okay, it looks like a little bit of a harder right-hander here. So we start the lap with 3 right-handed corners, 2 pretty sweeping right-handers with probably pretty fast, and that one's going to need to be slowed down for a little. You need to slow down a little bit for that one. Sweeping left. Okay. Alright, we got a right-hander. I noticed the pavement changed color there. That could be a good indicator of a braking zone. 50-meter board there. We got a harder right-hander coming up here. So I'm looking for landmarks that I can use to identify braking points. I'm not using the racing line. Okay, so 50 meters. Looks like this is a harder left-hander here. Yeah, it's gonna be a hard left-hander. It's a much harder right-hander or left-hander than it appeared there. All right, so I see that on the inside there for this left-hander, maybe right where the curb starts might be a good indicator. So yeah, so what I'm looking for right now are things that I can use to sort of pick my braking points, and then as I speed up my lap, I'll adjust my braking points to and from, or even maybe change the landmark I use. So yeah, okay, so alright, left-hander, immediate right, and immediate left. So left, right, left. Probably straighten that middle part out and take that as straight as possible instead of the way I did it. Up over this hill, a little bit more of a straight. I'm going very slow right now. I'm just really trying to get the layout of the track down. We got a 100-meter board and the start of the curb there. Probably a pretty high-speed right-hander, but it's a very long, sweeping right-hander. So right where that inside curb started up again, that might be a good place to get on the accelerator. Is this the... oh, this is... Okay, so that's the lap. Alright, so I'm still not going to go... I'm still not going to be going balls to the wall here. I'm still going to be trying to sort of take it easy. So I remember that I have the sweeping right-hander here. A little bit of an early apex, so I'm going to want to maybe right at the 50-meter board. Slow down for it, accelerate out of it. At full speed, I may need to stop even before that 50-meter board. Alright, right where that curb starts, maybe. This is going to be a higher speed right-hander. And yeah. Oh, and then the... Alright, so where the curb starts here. Okay, that was... See, now that was too late. Okay. I need to stop... I need to start braking before the curb, so probably at the 100-meter board. And then this is a sweeping left-hander. I maybe not even need a downshift. Yeah, no. And then the pavement changes, little downshift. And then we have a harder right-hander. And I think maybe that 50-meter board is a good spot for that. Again, I'm picking up the pace a little bit, but this is nowhere near a hot lap, right? I'm just sort of trying to get the flow of the track. See how the corners relate to one another. $50-meter board. Higher speed left-hander here. Okay. The hill. I think we had a hard... Nope, left-hander. Okay. 100-meter, 50-meter board. And that's too late. Okay. See, I really didn't want that. Like, I really want to try and stay on the track. That 50-meter board, if you hit... That's too late. Okay. So that's the left, right, left here. We're going up over the hill again. A lot of nice elevation changes. I like the undulation of this track a lot. Alright, so we got the... See, 100-meter board. And this is going to be the long sweeping left-hander before, or right-hander before we go back on to the main straight here. And I thought maybe that would be a good place to get back on the throttle. Maybe even before that. I don't know. So, alright, so, you know, I think starting to get a feel for the layout now. And, so we'll try to go a little bit harder this lap. 100-meter board. I didn't turn in time. That wasn't... So that wasn't a braking issue. That was user error. That was my fault. Probably didn't need to slow down that much there. $100-meter board this time. Hard on the brakes. Oh, that's still maybe I'm still a little bit or late on the brakes there at the 100-meter board. Now, fourth gear. Yeah, you just need a lift there a little bit. Now this time I'm gonna get on the brakes a little bit before that color change. Alright, so we got the sweeping right. Alright, left-hander front. I got confused as to where I was on the track, as will happen when you're learning a new track. Laps are going to be sloppy at first, right? You can't just hop into a track and know what you're doing. It's just no one can. So this will be the sweeping right-hander, the last corner of the lap. Alright, so I still don't have, you know, anywhere close to, you know, a grasp of how this lap works. So I'm still not pushing it too hard here. So, I still turned in a little late there. Alright, so I think even my braking point is a little too late there, so we'll adjust that the next time around. Make mental note. Alright, that can be taken much faster. Now we have another the third left or right-hander, and this one's much harder. Again, before the 100-meter board this time. A little lift. Maybe I didn't even need that lift there. Okay. Alright, maybe... Okay, oops. Alright. What... The comforting thing is that when you're learning a new track, the thing that I take comfort in most is knowing that this is the only time I'm going to be this bad at this track. It's only going to get better every lap you run. Unless it's the Nordschleife. I still don't understand how to run that, but, you know. Alright, so this is going to be, yeah. A nice S-curve there, reminiscent of almost a mirror image of Suzuka, it seems like, just not quite as wide, as long as turns there. All right. So yeah, so every lap you learn the layout a little bit better. You get, you know, and that helps right there. Like just knowing what's coming up. I mean, you have to have that. I don't see, you know, you have to have that. So that's like the first step is just learning. All right, so before the 100-meter board. Okay. I know that's not the fastest way. I know it's not fast yet. We're not worried about being fast yet. Alright, I'm going to try to take this much quicker this time. Okay. So it's about 120 on exit. I'm doing miles per hour because I'm American. I am in the Porsche GT-4 car also, if you were wondering. Alright, so this time we're just going to lay off. Okay, so we don't even need to. Now we need to get on the brakes. And that's going to be a difficult braking point because the car is going to be... You have to be very careful about that braking point because the balance of the car is not settled. When you're coming around that fast right-hander there, the car's weight is not balanced. So... you get on the brakes now, you shift the center of balance even more, and then you can really be in some trouble. So that's going to be a part of the track I'm going to need to be extra careful on. Alright, so we have a left-hander over the hill. Hard left-hander. This is the S's. Just looking for improvement every single lap. Every lap, want to improve. Always trying to improve. I'm not worried about making mistakes right now. Mistakes are going to happen. What I want to do is I want to make sure I'm not making the same mistakes lap after lap after lap. Right? Mistakes are fine. We learn from mistakes. But when they stop being fine is when you're not learning from them and we're making the same mistake over and over again and not improving. So, what's the point in doing this if we're not going to improve? A little late on the turn-in again. I'm just not getting that turn-in point right. I am speeding up a little bit. I'm going to be a little more aggressive here. Not too bad. I'm pretty happy with that. Now, I remember, brake at the top of the hill. Nope, second gear is what I want. Okay. Yeah, don't be afraid to experiment with the gears. I mean, this is what we're doing. We're learning the lap here. All right, so we'll return to garage. Start over. Why return to the garage? Well, I was halfway through the lap anyway, and I'd already made that mistake a couple times. So I kind of want to get right back to that section of the track again and do it right this time, right? So that's why I went ahead and returned to the garage and started the lap over. Okay. I like this track. I do. Alright. Let's get on there. Let's stay in third. Down to second now. I was too early on the accelerator. Alright. This is the problem, right? This is the trouble area. Alright, so we're going to come around. Then we need to hit the brake. Get the car slowed down. Well, that was not good. Slow the car down for this left-hander here. Accelerate out. Ah, too much. Damage is off because stuff like that's going to happen. And this is just practice. Sometimes when I get the lap to where I'm comfortable, I'll go ahead and throw down a like a 20-minute race and just start from last place. That way I can kind of watch the line the AI takes. Another good thing to do is just watch YouTube videos of people doing it. Jardier and George Ortner do a lot of race room videos, and you know, if you're looking at Assetto Corsa, you'll find guys who are doing a lot of Assetto Corsa videos. You know, Project Cars 2, same. Just there's YouTubers out there who are doing these videos. Watch them turn laps. I'm sure there's a video out there with a car track combination you're looking for. Still not right. Too hot into that corner still. Okay. car is unsettled when I try to... Yeah, that's what I was worried about there, is the car is unsettled. I got on the brakes and nearly lost control, so... This is an interesting track. There's a lot of... It's a very nice mix of low speed, high speed corners. Over the hill. That first corner is still giving me a lot of problems. I can't quite figure out what I'm supposed to do there. Well, that's better. All right. Probably could go a little faster on that. Ah. All right. Oh. Too early on the throttle. This is a Porsche, so it does have that mid-engine understeer. The KTM may be able to do that a little bit faster. It's a little more agile with a little less top speed, but I'm in the Porsche, so here we go. Too late on the brakes there, okay. A little hesitant on the throttle there because I didn't want to run wide again. The great thing about making sure you run these SRS races is that it forces you into tracks that, you know, maybe you wouldn't have run before. Like, I know I fall into the trap where I'm constantly running the same tracks over and over again when I'm just, you know, doing my offline stuff. And so this is nice. You know, I'm motivated now to learn a new track. And that's never a bad thing, I don't think. So the lap's getting better. I'm still making some mistakes, and I'm sure there's still 1,000 places I can improve my time on, but it's getting better. I feel like I could, you know, after another 20 or 30 minutes of practice, I could probably at least take part in a race without having to worry about ruining somebody's race because I'm an idiot, which, you know, is, you never want to ruin somebody else's race. Like, that's my biggest fear when I race online, is that I'm going to make a mistake because I'm fairly new and, you know, and ruin somebody's race. Too wide. Looks like the game will allow you to use all of that out there without invalidating your laps. That's good information to have. So every lap gets a little bit better. We're always seeing improvement. That's what we're going for. There we go. That's pretty fast. You know, relatively speaking, pretty fast compared to my previous laps. Not compared to somebody who knows what they're doing for sure, but... Alright. Now this is the part of the track that worries me the most, right here. Probably go into that a little more aggressively than that. Okay. So yeah, so I feel like now I've got a pretty good idea of the track layout. I've got a rough idea of where I want to be braking, where I want to be accelerating. Where I don't want to be off-roading. Now it's all about just repetition. It's just about now nailing down that muscle memory. Learning where to push. Race experience will be important too. Knowing where you can pass. You know. Alright. So now I feel like I'm just gonna, I feel like I've got a good idea of the track. I'm just gonna go for a burner now and see if I can't really nail down, what I would consider a good lap for right now. And then that'll do it. Turned in a little late there. That right-hander goes on forever. Not the best there either. Almost 2/10 slower than my fastest so far, so. Oh. Well, there you go. That's how I start to learn a new track. Now I'll, now that I've got the basic layout down, what I'll probably do after I drink my cup of coffee, and before the race itself is, I will probably go ahead and do the cockpit cam, and do, 10, 15 laps in cockpit cam to get used to that, and then hop into the SRS race and have some online fun. So, hey, that's awesome. Hope you're well. Take care. Bye-bye.